Alright, this video is going to be very short and sweet and to the point. So let's just get started. Basically, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds did an AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything on Reddit. One of the first questions that really intrigued me is from Dakai Portal. He says, night scenario weather. Will there be some kind of dark map similar to the foggy map that was introduced recently? PlayerUnknown's responded, I have seen a prototype nighttime setting internally, and I think you'll all be surprised at how good it looks. No ETA on when it may get added to the game yet though, as it will take a lot of work to finish. So there's a few main points I want to touch on here. In the question he says dark map similar to the foggy map, and I think that's really important. I'll tell you why in a minute. PlayerUnknown says that you'll all be surprised with how good it looks. Later on in the AMA somewhere, I remember reading, he said that it's surprisingly easy to see people. So it won't be like a terrible game, useless game mode where it's impossible to kill people because somebody was concerned about that. So he said it's going to be easy to see people still. And then he says it will take a lot of work to finish. Now that part's kind of concerning to me, but let me make sense of why I highlighted those specific spots. So first things first, when I bring up a nighttime mode, a lot of my friends said that that's going to be a garbage addition to the game because it's going to look like Slender Man from back in 2010, 2012, whenever that game came out, where basically you have a flashlight, you could see in the center of your screen, but everything around the edges is pitch black darkness with this horrible vignette. And then best case scenario, you turn up your gamma, but still nothing renders. It looks bad. Inside houses, imagine walking into a Pubg house and having some dude camping in the bathroom, which you know they do, and you turn your flashlight on him and he's just standing there like that. I would jump, alright? And I would be really embarrassed if I was live streaming and that happened to me. So I don't think they're gonna do this. This just seems like I have more faith in Pubg than that. This is a mechanic that would ruin their game. And implementing a flashlight would also just be terrible because the only people that are going to use it are the new players, and it's a big beacon saying, hey, look at me, come and kill me. All the experienced players are not going to use it unless it's like a melee weapon, but they'd never use it as like a flashlight. They'd never turn it on. And then all the new players would just get wrecked nonstop on this map. So what are they going to do? If they're not going to implement flashlights and they're not going to make it impossible to see, well, that's where in the question where he compares it to the fog map, I think is very, very important. So let me open up Photoshop. Here's the fog map. Anything within 10-20 meters is perfectly clear and normal. After that, you get a light white film, and then about every 5-10 meters after that, it gets a little bit thicker, a little bit thicker, a little bit thicker, and eventually you can't see anything. Basically what this is kind of like a view distance fall off. Okay, so you imagine a circle. So let's say I took spray paint and I just sprayed it on a wall. Well, if you notice, the inner part is pretty thick and you can see it very easily, and then it kind of feathers out. Well, at night, when you're walking around and your eyes adjust to the darkness, you could see what's around you close up pretty clear. It's when things start getting further in the distance that it gets a little bit harder to see. So what's the difference between this fog map and nighttime? Well, the only difference is that it's bright out in this fog map, right? So if we set this layer of this screenshot of the fog map to overlay, which basically means anything that's white will go transparent and show what's underneath. And if I put this dark blue layer underneath, then we'll see kind of what it might look like. So let me just turn this on. Boom. Now we have a nighttime map. And if you notice, in the fog map, this tree is kind of hard to see, and anything past that's really impossible. You see a little hut right here, but basically everything else past that's really, really hard to see. In this nighttime setting, you could actually see even further and more clear. Now let's switch over to what it would look like from a player's point of view. So here's a player's point of view. Here it is in the fog map. You can see a little person right here running in the field. You see some trees over here. You see this water tower. You see a faint building off in the distance. Well, let's switch it over to nighttime and see how it looks. You still see the player right here in the center. You could actually see these houses in the distance even better. You can still see these trees. If somebody was hiding behind one of these trees, you could easily see them and pop some shots off on them. The foreground is still high texture quality. It's not blacked out. It's just dark, which it would be if it was nighttime, obviously. You can see the blue glare on his fingertips. I think that this is going to be, if they're going to pull off a nighttime mode, this is what it needs to look like. And something else I could see them doing is, let's go back to this view. I know that they've been updating the sky textures to be higher quality, so I could see them adding some nice high quality sky textures, maybe something with some stars like this to show why it's so bright out and why it's so clear to see. Me personally, I live out in the middle of nowhere, so when all the lights are off outside, this is actually kind of what it looks like when the moon is out and the stars are bright. You could see just like this. But anyways, this is all just speculation. I don't work for PUBG. If I did, I wouldn't be able to share this information, obviously. So this is just my theory of what it could look like. I just thought I'd throw it in Photoshop and try to get some ideas out there. Hear what you guys had to say about it. Please leave comments down below letting me know what you think of this nighttime mode. Yes, it's going to be hard just like the fog map is. But I think it could add a fun dynamic to the game, honestly. As long as they don't add in flashlights, I think that would just make the game really bad. If you guys saw something in the AMA that intrigued you and you want to see a render of it, or you want me to talk about it, feel free to leave that in the comments down below as well. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, please hit subscribe down below. Maybe hit that little bell icon to get notified whenever I upload. If you liked it, hit like. If you disliked it, feel free to dislike. Doesn't hurt my feelings any. I do have a Twitch in the description if you want to go follow there so you get notified whenever I go live. I've been streaming PUBG a decent amount lately. I've been really obsessing over this game. But that's it. This has been Spiff. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.